Hi, I'm Daniel from Ratings.com. Today we're testing the Samsung Q8FN. It's a QLED TV, Samsung's second highest end model of 2018, behind the Q9FN. We bought the 55-inch Q8FN to test, but it's also available in larger sizes up to 82 inches. We expect these larger sizes to have very similar picture quality. Note that this is a different TV to the 2017 Q8, although the naming and model codes are very similar. Also, the European Q8 is a different TV with only edge-lit local dimming. First, we'll look at the design of the TV and then move on to the picture quality. We'll look at the motion handling and input lag and then compare to these competing models which are currently available. The design of the Q8FN is great. The TV has a thin border, which makes it look sleek from the front. The wide-set stand supports the TV well and it feels very stable. Unlike some other high-end Samsung TVs, all of the inputs are directed out of the side of the TV rather than being located on an external One-Connect box. Depending on your setup, this may be more or less convenient. The rear of the TV has the same plastic finish as many other Samsung TVs. It looks good, and there are channels across the back which you can run cables through for a clean look. The cables can continue down through the stand, so are almost completely hidden. A single button for controls is located beneath the Samsung logo on the front of the TV. It allows basic functionality, such as powering the TV and changing the inputs. Looking at a thermal image of the TV, the screen has a relatively even heat distribution. This is due to the full array backlighting, so the LEDs are distributed behind the whole screen. Now we'll move on to the picture quality. We'll be comparing to currently available TVs, but competing models may change as new TVs are released throughout the year. For an updated comparison with new models as we buy and test them, see the review page on our website, which is linked below. The Q8FN has a high native contrast ratio, so blacks appear deep when viewed in the dark. This is in the same ballpark as other TVs with V8 panels, like the Sony X900F and the Vizio Quantum. This is great for dark scenes when watching movies in a home theater room, but it isn't quite as good as the perfect blacks of the OLED C8. The Q8FN has full array local dimming, which helps to further improve the dark scene performance. It has 40 zones and acts quite conservatively to reduce visible blooming. This means that blacks aren't as deep as some other TVs like the Q9FN, but small details in dark scenes are preserved well. Although it has a higher zone count than the X900F, the algorithm isn't as effective. It also isn't as good as the Vizio Quantum, which is able to produce deeper dark scenes. OLED TVs like the C8 don't require local dimming, as they can control the light that each pixel emits individually. The Q8FN has bad viewing angles, so the color shift and contrast drops when viewed at an angle. This is similar to other V8 TVs, like the X900F and Vizio Quantum, which also have bad viewing angles. For those with wide seating, a TV with an IPS panel, like the LG SK9500, or an OLED like the C8 is a better choice. The reflection handling of the Q8 is excellent. The TV has a glossy finish with an anti-reflective coating which works well to reduce glare. It is one of the most effective coatings we've tested, but it does produce a purple tint, which some people don't like. It is in the same ballpark as the C8 OLED and the P-Series Quantum, and better than the X900F. This is a great choice for those with bright rooms. The peak brightness of the Q8FN is great. The TV can get the whole screen very bright at over 500 nits, which is great for bright rooms. Unfortunately, highlights in real content can't get as bright as other high-end TVs. At just over 600 nits in our real scene test pattern, it is very good, but not as good as the X900F or Vizio Quantum. The grey uniformity of the Q8FN is only decent. Some banding is noticeable on this 50% grey slide, which results in dirty screen effect when watching sports or playing games. The edges of the screen also get darker, but this tends to be less distracting. Unfortunately, these types of uniformity issues vary on a unit-by-unit basis and are inherent to LCD displays. If you really care about this, then an OLED TV like the C8 is a better choice. The Q8FN has an excellent wide color gamut, so it can produce very vivid highlights in HDR content. It is one of the widest gamuts we've tested and is in the same ballpark as the Vizio Quantum. It is also able to display this wide range of colors in both dark and bright scenes, resulting in a large color volume. While the C8 can produce a wide range of colors, it can't produce them at high brightness levels, resulting in a smaller color volume. If you care about the most bright and saturated colors, then the Q8FN or the Vizio Quantum is the way to go. The Q8FN has an excellent fast response time, so very little blur is seen in fast-moving content like sports or video games. This has been improving for most TVs, so it is in the same ballpark as other high-end 2018 models like the X900F and P Quantum. The Q8FN has a high backlight flicker frequency of 480 Hz. This can be seen as small duplications following our logo, but very few people will notice this in normal content. The Q8FN is able to flicker the backlight at a lower frequency of 60 Hz through the LED clear motion option. Unlike 2017 models, this can now be used in game mode. This helps to increase the clarity of motion, but isn't for everyone as it produces noticeable flicker. This behaves similarly to the options on the P Quantum and the C8 OLED. The input lag of the Q8FN is very low, which is excellent. It is between 16 and 20 milliseconds across the board, which is great for gaming. The input lag is low for 1080p or 4K gaming and with HDR content. The Q8FN also supports FreeSync variable refresh rates. This is great for those with an AMD graphics card or a new Xbox and results in smooth gameplay as the frame rate changes. The Q8FN uses Samsung's Smart Hub platform. It is very intuitive and easy to use, with a wide selection of apps including Netflix, Amazon Video, and YouTube. It is generally smooth, but does occasionally slow down or feel less responsive. The remote is also simple and easy to use. It has a built-in microphone, so you can use the Bixby voice assistant to search for content on the TV or to adjust settings. The sound of the Q8FN is about average for a TV. It can get decently loud, but isn't really enough for a noisy environment. It can produce some bass, but isn't as good as an external sound system. If you care about sound, then an external soundbar or speakers is a better choice. So overall, the Q8FN is a great TV. It has some neat gaming features including FreeSync support and low input lag interpolation. Depending on your use, some of these other TVs may be better picks though. The Sony X900F is a great TV, but it isn't quite as good as the Samsung. It has worse reflection handling, so those in bright rooms may experience more distracting glare. It also has higher input lag, which is a bit worse for gaming and doesn't support FreeSync. It does have better color accuracy out of the box though, and if you aren't gaming and your room doesn't get bright, then the performance is similar. The Vizio P-Series Quantum is their flagship of 2018. It's a great TV with very effective local dimming and an exceptional high brightness. Overall, it is better than the Q8FN, but it lacks some gaming features like FreeSync and low input lag interpolation. The Q8FN is also better at displaying gradients. If these downsides don't bother you, then go with the Vizio. The LG C8 is a 2018 OLED TV with excellent performance. Due to the differences in technology, it has a few advantages over the Q8FN. The image remains accurate when viewed at an angle, which is great for those with wide seating, and blacks can get perfectly deep in dark scenes. It does have some downsides though, as there may be a risk of burn-in with static images, and the whole screen can't get as bright to combat glare. The Q9FN is the next level up in Samsung's lineup. It's a great TV with some advantages over the Q8FN. It has better local dimming, which helps to produce deep dark scenes and can also produce brighter highlights in HDR. The Q9FN has an external One Connect box, but this could be an advantage depending on your setup. So that's it. What do you think of the Samsung Q8FN? Let us know what you think in the comments below. You can check out all of our measurements on our website. And if you like this video, subscribe to our channel or become a contributor. Thank you for watching and see you next time.